The Infotop podcast will help you meet interesting people virtually. Do not skip any parts, because some information may help you in the future. Hello there, this is Infotop again. My name is Vladislav Huk, and today we are going to talk about an interesting person, the founder of the Norwegian Nationalist School of Music, Edvard Grieg. It was thanks to Grieg that the whole world found out how Norwegian music sounds. I would like to begin his story with some interesting facts, and the first of them, of course, is about his childhood. Edward started playing the piano when he was 4 years old, and at school, his classmates would give him the nickname Mozart, because he knew the most about Mozart. Like most boys, Grieg loved skipping lessons, and to make teachers let him go, he often pretended to be in the rain, soaking his clothes in water, then going home wet to change. He got to school one day dripping, but it hadn't rained. That's probably why he undermined his health and had lung diseases at a young age. That's why you shouldn't walk while your clothes are wet. He started writing his works at the age of 12, and now we have inherited more than 600 works, including about 150 plays and even music for Ibsen's drama Per Gюnт, plus others. During his childhood, he would live in a fantasy world. He made boring exercises interesting, grey weather bright, and his long way to school exciting by changing what he saw around him. He also imagined a platoon of soldiers marching when he was playing scales and arpeggios. Edward was not the most disciplined student. He preferred to discover music himself. Instead of the obligatory etudes, he preferred to improvise and play and find new melodies. However, despite a certain reluctance, his love for music grew into what it was to become, in his most secret spirit, the right thing in life, to be an artist. Most famous Norwegian composer dedicated his career to the pursuit of the national sound. The respect he had for his predecessors illustrates the sincerity with which he worked towards this goal. He wrote in a romantic tradition with, in his own words, the determination to create a national form of music which could give the Norwegian people an identity. Every time we're on Infotop, we communicate with an interesting person, and today we're talking to my English teacher, Ірина Ляльчук. Let's give her a warm welcome. Greetings! Glad to hear you on air with me. Today we're talking about Edvard Grieg. Do you like some of his works?
Hello! Nice to meet you too, and thanks for having me. Oh, I definitely like the works of Edvard Grieg. They make me feel like I'm inside of a fairy tale.
How about we listen to a fragment of one of his most famous works, In the Hall of the Mountain King? Shall we? Say, have you heard this piece before?
Yes, of course. I know something about In the Cave of the Mountain King. It is one of the most recognizable classics, just like Karl Orff's O Fortuna and Rimsky-Korsakov's Flight of the Bumblebee. Dozens of arrangements by pop artists have been made for this work. Candice Knight even wrote the lyrics for this song, and it was performed as a song by a group Rainbow. The lyrics of their song are a free rendition of a fragment of the play, on behalf of the Mountain King.
It is thought that the melody of the troll dance is similar to the old Scottish chant Bonnie Buchanhaven. How could Grieg hear her? Is it really from his ancestors? This might be not surprising, since Edward's great-grandfather is from Scotland. This work and other works by Edvard Grieg, such as Morning, Son of Solveig, from Peer Gynt, are often used in movies, cartoons, TV shows, and commercials. Everyone has a favorite animal. Which animals do you love? And do you have a lucky charm?
Oh, I love cats. I feel we're so similar by the character. I don't have a lucky charm, but when I was a kid, I used to collect my cat's whiskers because I thought they would bring me luck. Don't worry, they only drop them naturally.
What do you think Grieg chose as his lucky charm? Before each concert, Grieg used to rub the back of a small clay frog, which he carried in his pocket and considered his amulet. And probably it helped, because the concerts were always held with great success.
It was interesting to learn about it. Oh, I know a story from Grieg's life too.
Tell me, please.
One day, while fishing with his friend, the conductor Franz Bayer, Grieg came up with a melody. He wrote it down on a piece of paper and left it on the shore. But the wind blew the paper into the water, where it was caught by Franz, unnoticed for Grieg. Franz read it and began to sing. Grieg reacted immediately and asked Franz what he was singing, but a friend did not confess, but said that the melody had just occurred to him. Grieg was very surprised, and he said, "And they say that miracles do not happen. I also came up with just such a melody."
That was a really funny fact from his biography. Thank you for this interesting conversation and the opportunity to learn something new about your favorite composer. See you at the lessons.
Thank you too. See you.
Grieg was one of the most respected composers in Europe. He was popular, if not with the critics, then at least with the majority of those interested in music. No wonder music publisher C.F. Peters hoisted the flag in London and Frankfurt every time Grieg delivered a manuscript for a new album of piano pieces. Throughout his life, Grieg was a restless soul. He never felt completely at peace anywhere. When he was in Bergen, he longed for Christiania, and when he was there, he longed for Copenhagen and the continent. When he was abroad, he longed to be back home, but no sooner had he arrived in Bergen than he felt oppressed and restless and wanted to go off again. There were perhaps only two places where he really felt at home and satisfied: on the concert platform and in the Norwegian mountains, especially Jotunheim. When he was in the presence of his audience or experiencing the powerful and free nature of the western part of Norway, he felt whole and complete. Grieg once explained that the traditional way of life of the Norwegian people, together with Norwegian legends, Norwegian history, and Norwegian natural scenery, stamped themselves on his creative imagination since his earliest years. Harold Herrestal once said that Grieg had a genius ability to create perfect melodies rooted in the national folk tradition of Norway. He was an innovative harmonist, and he became a role model for many European composers. The secret behind Grieg's world fame lay in his ability to create new piano music that could be played by amateurs in homes all over the world. The Norwegian composer and pianist continues to influence music in Norway to this day. Plus, I've also decided to play some of Edvard Grieg's works on my oboe. Right now, you'll listen to a fragment of one of Grieg's works called Dance of Elves. Elves are dancing, Grieg's music is playing. Give me a good mood for the longest school days.